Yeah.
So like, how long have you been to No Regrets? Like, what had been your experience? Why No Regrets?
Are you the president of the East Side chapter?
Well, all two of us
Yeah.
on the east side. I don't know if I want to tell that story. It's kind of fucked up.
About getting in No Regrets?
Okay, so all right.
Oh, now I want.
Now we have to.
Yeah, now I want.
I was 17, and I didn't know anything about the truck scene. I didn't know anything about.
How old are you
anything.
now?
I'm 36.
Okay, so
Oh.
close to 20 years ago.
20 years ago. I had Mini Trucking Magazine. I loved it. I had a truck. It wasn't bagged or anything. I had a full-size notch. It was like 8-10 drop on my S10, like dragging frame everywhere. I saw a No Regrets logo on the back window of a truck in a magazine, and I was like, that is fucking sick.
Yeah.
And I was like, I went to the tattoo guy, and I was like, I want this blasted on my back. So shoulder to shoulder blade, I have a No
Really?
Regrets logo on my back.
Before you were No Regrets.
I had no idea it was even a club.
This is an amazing
Whoa, this
story.
is
Okay.
no, this is awesome.
Yeah.
Um,
You just thought, did you know what a truck club was? Or did you
not
just
a
think
clue.
that
not
guy
not
had a cool
clue.
sticker on
I just thought it was the coolest sticker. I was like, dude, that's fucking sick.
Yeah.
Like the font's cool, the stars. I was like,
the font?
yeah. So like, yeah, and then I
Whose
went.
logo was it?
It was a extended cab Silverado OBS. It had somebody in SoCal, blue and black.
Tyson.
Is it Tyson's?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Back in the day, was it OBS?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, extended cab.
Did it have
It
the
was like-
Escalade front end?
No, it was a picture from the back. So I don't know.
Oh, okay.
I think it was didn't Quigley have a full size
I
that?
think Quigley has that truck now.
Yeah. Okay. Then that's why I think that. So yeah.
Okay, so we went to Summer Splash. It was the only year they had it. What was that 06 or 07 or something? I think I was still in high school. I didn't graduate till 06. And I went to it. We were going to it. This was the
And you saw a bunch of your tattoos everywhere?
You're
You're
like,
like,
Hold on.
so going up there, we got lost. This was the MapQuest days where you just have a piece of paper. We got lost. There was a heavy rain the week before, so a lot of roads were closed. And
Oh, yeah.
Summer Splash was in the middle of nowhere. It was like a campground, like right on the river,
Yeah.
right? So I run into Lionel and Jason Silva
Yep.
from Severed at a gas station, and they go. I was like, oh shit, are you guys on the show? Can we follow you? And he was like, well, who are you with? And I was like, I don't know, nobody. Like, what do you mean? And I was like, I'm.
So I think
middle
you
of
had
the-
No Regrets.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
was
you're
like-
like, who am I with? I'm in
Well,
the middle of the desert.
Yeah, I
dude.
was like, what? I was like, I don't know what that means. I was like, I don't know. I'm just going. He's like, where are you sleeping? I was like, in my truck. And he goes, welcome to Severed, bro. And I was like, oh shit. I was like, okay. So we go. So we get.
This is so great.
I follow them all the way to Summer Splash, and the first night, they're introducing me to everybody, and like, this is the new guy, blah, blah, blah. And then we go to get in the river, and I take my shirt off, and Jason goes, "Hold up!" I was like, "What?" I was like, "What? Like, what's up? Like, what's going on?" And he was like, "Yo, man, like you have a massive car club tattooed, like like on your back." And I was like, "Oh yeah, no shit." And I was like, and he was like, "Yeah, man." He's like, "Put your shirt back on. You know any of those guys?" I was like, "No." And he was like, "You put your shirt back on."
No.
I was like,
way.
"Okay." I was like, "All right." Like I didn't know.
Yo,
any
what
of
the
these-
heck is going on?
Welcome to
This is an
Severed.
amazing story.
Dude.
Oh my god, dude.
So long story short, I lost the alternator at that show. I had to replace the alternator. Everybody leaves, whatever. Maybe a couple months later, I was like, I'm still in high school. So I was like, that's when Facebook came out and you could start groups. So I was like, I'm going to start a group called No Regrets. I was like, fuck yeah, this is tight, right? Yeah, this is why I didn't want to tell this story.
No, this is the best story
best
ever.
story I've ever heard.
So I put. Oh, and by the way, after I found out it was a truck club, I sent my back picture into Mini Trucking, and they put it in there. And Ernie was like, "Who the fuck has this tattoo?" At the time, it was the biggest No Regrets tattoo done, and he was like, "Who the fuck is this?" Like, so I started this page.
And there's really no way for him to find, like,
I had no idea.
Like,
I had
yeah,
no
like,
idea.
yeah, how
Yeah.
would you know?
I had no
back
idea.
in the olden days.
Yeah. So I start this little group, call it No Regrets, and I want to say it was Chad got in there and goes, "Who the fuck are you?" And I was like,
It wasn't
"What?"
Chad, because Chad wasn't
There-
in No Regrets.
Okay,
Yeah, he was
it was
a forbidden
SoCal somebody. who has the NR on the back of their head or on the back?
Moses.
of
Oh,
their neck?
Moses.
Okay.
Mo.
I get this message. We're gonna send this guy out there and fucking deal with this shit. And
Yeah,
I was like,
that's them.
I was like, yo,
That sounds about like Mo.
what? I was like, wait, hold. I was like, I have no idea what's going on. And then I got a message from Bobby, and Bobby goes,
Veneri?
No, out here.
Thompson?
Yeah. Him and Pat, I think, were running it out in Arizona at the time, and they were super cool. They were just like, yo, man, like, you're into bag trucks? I was like, yeah. And he's like, well, let's meet up. Like, let's have a sit down. And I was like, fucking hearts pounding. I'm like, I'm gonna get jumped by all these
It's
old
like
guys.
I'm about to get
And, like,
fucking aired out right now.
well, we went to Applebee's. We had to sit down and stuff. And he was just like, yo, man. He's like, you're cool. If you want to start coming around, cool. That's tight. And it just kind of went off.
What
from
would
there.
they have done if you said no? What did that? Imagine
Yeah.
that. You're
Well-
just like, you know what? No, I don't want to get in your club.
Well, at the time, it was like, I
Really?
didn't,
No,
I,
it would
I
have
didn't
been way
know.
funnier if he's like, they told me I'm in severed, so
Yeah, right. I've already signed some paperwork.
I'm already kind of signed up.
But he was really cool. They were really cool. They were like, come out to Ryan's house. That's when Ryan Nelson used to have parties all the time.
Oh, yeah.
And I just hit it off with everybody. Everybody was really cool. And the
Luckily,
club was really laid back. So.
You're really lucky
Yeah.
that you tattooed that on your back and not
Yeah.
like a different club. And then imagine if you that club
That
you-
didn't work out.
That didn't work out.
Yeah.
I know.
That
I
is
know.
the most amazing
It's-
story I've ever
yeah.
heard.
Yeah, like like it was just a club, and then you get to that club, and you're just like, I don't like these people.
Well, so that was what was really cool is when I went to Ryan's house, like everybody was like, "Oh, you're the kid with the tattoo? Cool, tight. Come on in." Like
Yeah.
fucking.
That's
and
the
it was
best
like,
story
It
Yeah.
was.
ever.
I know.
It was
like-
really cool. Yeah.
yeah.
I
That's
could.
so awesome.
Yeah. Those guys like.
I'm just saying, you're very fortunate that
Yeah.
that's what you tattooed on your back. Luckily, like they came up with a really good logo, and
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's kind of how I started in the club. I
Now you
petitioned-
literally can never leave this club.
No,
like,
it's I would never leave anyways. It's
I know, but I'm just saying, like with that story and everything, it's like that you're
it's-
set.
yeah.
yeah.
Like that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. They were really cool. Everybody was really cool. And I
That's
just kept
awesome.
going around, and then I petitioned for about 2 years or 2 or 3 years, and then what's the other one that Bob Hayes was doing that they did a couple of them?
West Coast
West Coast.
Nationals.
West Coast Nationals is when I got my full logo, which was super cool. That's
Yeah.
like when I finally was like, "Yo, I'm an official club member," and I want to say I'm at like 15 years now that I've been in the club.
Yeah.
That's cool. What kind of truck did you have at that moment?
The S10, the Panda truck.
Oh, the
but
Panda
it was,
truck,
But it was
okay.
red. It was red, so it was just slammed like real low. I didn't really. Okay, so that's questions I was gonna ask you guys.
Oh,
so
it wasn't bagged
at the time. It wasn't bagged, but
when you got full logo. Was it bagged?
yes, it was.
Okay.
So that's where I wanted to get with you guys. So like, I don't know if this is official. There's no official anything, but in Arizona, at the time, Bobby or Pat would give you basically a mission, and once you accomplish the mission, and you come around, you hang out, and you're cool and everything, then you can get your logo. So mine was I had to have my truck at a show, running and driving. Doesn't have to go to the show, but off a trailer, body dropped. So I bagged and body dropped the Panda truck, got it to West Coast Nationals, and that
You
was what
completed
got,
your mission.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
exactly. So that's
Yeah.
what kind of got me to be an official member. Was I completed my mission, basically,
Yeah.
is what
Okay.
it was.
We just meet people at gas stations in the middle of the desert that ask for directions, and then we're like, "Now you're part of
Yeah,
us."
no, you're, like, you're
You
forbidden.
made it.
Yeah.
You made it.
Where are you sleeping?
Um,
Okay.
Yeah, so do you guys have like club rules?
Dinking, and it's also 2.5 hours long.
That's fine. That's how. That's
Who
how.
said it's sinking?
No, I'm just, I just love self-loathing humor.
Oh, okay,
as well.
that's
Yeah,
all right.
it's not sinking.
You were losing me a minute ago, but now I got caffeine. I felt myself checking out. I was like, uh-oh.
I've seen him check out when we did the 3 podcasts in a day.
Yeah, I
he was
feeling
sitting
that
right
way.
here, and he was. I don't know.
That's a lot,
Yeah, it was.
especially if they're long like this one.
Well, and we started in the high desert in Napa Valley area in Southern California. Went to Corona, Riverside area.
Yeah.
All the way to Costa Mesa, all the way to San Diego.
Sheesh.
In one day and
Yeah.
back.
Damn.
And by the time we got to San Diego, I was like, I was cooked.
He was like this. Uh-huh.
Yeah. You know, you guys control your own schedule. Like you cannot do that.
Sometimes we bite off. Sometimes we get a little more ambitious.
Yeah.
Sometimes we're not smart.
I know the same thing. Sometimes I'm not smart too, and or a piece of shit.
Yeah, well.
No, the joining Severed Ties by like happenstance was the Tacoma was baby blue at the time. It was body dropped and all that. But I would always go up. Adam from Big Time had a bar up in North Phoenix.
Oh, yeah.
Remember that?
Yeah.
Was that
That's where they chopped Rich Arachi's 300. That's where.
Yeah.
That's where you. Did we go with you?
I forget the name. I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah. I know.
So I would, and it was pretty much like a Severed Ties bar. 'Cause
Yeah.
I would go, and I was there all the time, hanging out with everyone. Rich Arachi was coming over to my house parties. You know, I mean, and this was when I lived in Chandler, and we had huge, massive parties at this house.
Yeah.
And I lived with Joe, my buddy Joe, who is, most people would know him from the Cover Up, which was in a lot of the videos. Now he's in
The cover up. Is that why they did this first song in the Low Life video?
yeah, because that's like one of my best friends.
They performed in front of Drew Brothers.
yeah, out front of Drew Brothers, which is now closed.
They are a great band.
Yeah.
Or were a great band.
So the Cover Up became a different band, and so now Joe's band is Dead, DED.
Okay.
And that's really good too.
Yeah.
But he moved out to New York. He lives with his girlfriend in upstate
nice.
New York. But yeah, he lived with us. So they actually played a concert in our backyard. But Joe was my roommate back then. And so anyways, we'd have all these huge I would go up to the bar up in North Phoenix all the time. So I was always there. And that's also where they had their club meetings, up in like the loft upstairs. So I would just hang out. I was always just hanging out. And then one day they were like, "Oh, I went up to the meeting, and I was just sitting in there, and they're like, 'Hey, we voted you in.'" And I was like, "Oh, I didn't know I was petitioning to be in the club." They're like, "Yeah, you're always here. You're friends with everyone. You're voted in." I was like, "Huh, I guess I'm in Severed Ties now." And then
Come to find out.
yeah, come to find out I'm in Severed Ties now. And then there was some people that really did not like that.
Yeah.
There was some people that really didn't like that, which is fine by me because fuck them. And
Yeah.
so
I like it.
So I put a logo on the truck at Rezo.
Yeah.
In Blythe.
Yep.
When the truck was tan now at that point. And I went to a few meetings which were way up on the north side of town, nowhere near where I lived, 45 minutes away, and they were always on Sunday. And I worked Monday through Saturday. I worked 6 days a week at the
I
time.
don't want to do that.
And I'm like, and the few I went to, nothing happened. It was just we'd go sit at a restaurant I would never eat at, and no one would solve any problems or talk about the show that was coming up. And I'm like, why am I driving all the way out here just to hang out on a Sunday when I'm tired? I want to chill at home. So I stopped going to the meetings. And then after a while of not going to the meetings, I got a phone call, and they're like, "We voted you out." And I was like,
Hold on.
I was the same way you voted me in, you voted me out. So that was my
That's
short
hilarious.
stint as a Severed Ties member.
That's
And they were like, "And your truck's not done." Well, it is now.
I know now they look at it like,
Damn it. But I never really was one for clubs and stuff anyways. And good for all the people that have them. All of my friends are in clubs. It's just not, it's not for me. It's not a me thing.
It's
that goes
just
back.
interesting that you were so involved in this scene and created so much stuff and were kind of like, a big part of it, and it never worked. That's kind of interesting.
Well, and also, though, wouldn't it kind of bias my opinion on things if I was...
It does, yeah.
It was.
does.
It was a big thing with Finnegan when he was in
Severed Ties.
and the editor of Mini Trucking.
Yeah.
Same thing happened when Ernie was running Mini Trucking Magazine.
As a no
And,
regrets
and,
member.
like,
and
no
running
regrets,
Low Life
no regrets.
Video, essentially.
And
Yeah.
that it does create some difference of opinions, and it was a conscious effort and thought though for me when I was doing Domination to not be in a club. One, because of the effort it takes to do it, and I didn't want to, and two, it would become a problem. And people watching the videos or reading the magazines, they look at where your association is, and it causes problems.
Dude, I remember, which is funny because now here I am in my position and I'm guilty of it as well. But I remember being like, nobody, just admiring everything from the outside, reading Mini Trucking Magazine and being kind of like angry, like no regrets, no regrets trucks, and yeah, of course there are no regrets trucks. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But now she's on the other foot because
Yeah.
it's
It's
all
also-
forbidden stuff.
I would do
also
the
a
same
piece of
thing,
shit.
but I,
Just build better vehicles. I mean,
it's
that's
100% that, because you would look at that and get mad, but it's not like you had this showstopper behind
I
you.
know,
like,
right. Yeah, I know. I'm
they're
just
not-
some asshole in the desert with a Mazda.
right. No, it's true, but usually it's people get angry not because they deserve it more. It's just that they're tired of seeing it. But yeah, it's just build nicer trucks.
Yeah.
Get better friends.
Yeah. Get in a better club.
Get in a better club. And a better club would probably be due to the fact they have nicer
Better
vehicles.
vehicles.
I don't know. I mean, there's some clubs out there that don't care, and everything's under construction all the time. It's hard to, once something is under construction, it's hard to finish.
No, for
Yeah.
sure.
And I learned that lesson
clubs are fascinating to me. Obviously, I've been in one and the president of one since 1995. But
Yeah.
just to watch how certain clubs have grown.
Yeah.
And grown up, I mean, by becoming older people.
Right. Well, yeah, it's
And
like
then some still try to do what you did back then. Like, why don't you come to the meeting? It's like,
You're like,
because I'm an adult now and I don't want to go to the meeting. You know what I mean? Like,
it's at the end of the day, it's a club.
Yeah.
It's a group of friends that all decided to put the same sticker on the back of their truck. It seems, I'm going to offend everyone right now. It seems a little childish, you know, like,
hey man, you're not wrong.
you know, I mean, so it's like, no, I don't, I go in and I hang out with my friends, you know, like that was Team Awesome was why it was a joke, you know, like it's not real.
yeah.